Chillwind depths. Oh, traveler, you must turn back. Chillwind depths, it's crawling with giant insects. I need to go inside and gather ingredients to heal my sister. But the things in there, they keep chasing me out. I'm a humble healer from Dragonbridge. My family, my brother, my sister, and I, we came to gather plants and other medicinal ingredients. Hedron wandered too close to this cave. That's when the Charis attacked her. One of the giant insects I told you about. My brother needs to stay by Hedron's side. So, I'm trying to enter the cave. If I can gather a few special ingredients, I can make an elixir to heal my sister. Would you help me? Oh, thank you. I wasn't able to take 3 steps into the cave before something attacked me. I am a healer and not very good in battle. We need to find a chillwind mushroom, deep lichen, and an unfertilized Charis egg. Then I can heal my sister. whirlwind mushroom. Ah, and a fine specimen at that. Good work. Deep lichen. Giant insects love this stuff. Pen. I never would have gotten this far without your help. Let's be careful and find the rest of what we need. That's everything. Meet me outside, and bring those ingredients so I can prepare the elixir. Quickly, traveler! Give me the ingredients so I can make the elixir for my sister. Chillwind mushroom, a patch of deep lichen, and an unfertilized charos egg. Perfect! With these, it's only a matter of time before Hedrin is as good as new. Thank you. Please, accept this humble gift along with my gratitude. You have done a great service for my family, traveler. Now my sister has a chance. I'll craft the curative and administer it to her as soon as possible. Thank you again. Mara and Kain willing, my elixir will work and she will be on her feet in no time. I couldn't have done it without you, traveler.
Your field work went well, I take it? Tell me every detail. Ooh, oh my. These aren't like anything I've seen before. Doesn't look terribly goblin to me, but that's for Landau to determine. Either way, the existence of undiscovered peoples is quite an accomplishment. We're most pleased. Most pleased! While your eagerness for more work is inspiring, I fear the coterie of organized scholars. You should enjoy this. It's a fascinating study. One of our scholars is doing research for a treatise on ancient Nord embalming practices, specifically how they might help to improve modern healing techniques. He needs help acquiring samples. He wants to analyze specific organs and tissues. The ancient Nords sometimes preserved such things in jars within their barrows. There's a large one called Dragonholm near the coast. It should be fairly unspoiled, well, on account of the Draugr. Western Skyrim offers a delightful panoply of subject matter, as you'll soon discover. Which reminds me, you should seek out the scholar organizing this study for additional advice.
rather humiliating, but my soul is trapped inside this ludicrous child's toy. I need someone with a corporeal form to help return me to my body. These damnable cultists bested me. The witless fools believe they can summon a dragon and return the dragon cult to prominence. Ha! One of their mages bound my soul to this doll and left me to spend eternity as this repulsively adorable plaything. Obviously, these idiots aren't infallible. They stripped me of my belongings before leaving me to my fate. If you can retrieve 3 of my things and place them upon a summoning altar, the spell will break and my body will be returned to me. The Dragon Cult lair, Dragonholm, is farther inside the cave, as is the altar where you'll place my belongings. You'll need to put me inside your pack so I can direct you and offer guidance. Don't make a fuss of it. a dragon cult lair, dragon home, stuff. No, dear stranger. I would like you to gently place me inside your pack, among your no doubt precious belongings, and carry me inside, so that I might observe your progress. Are you quite ready? Lovely. Then pick me up and let's get going. I'd like to get back into my own body sooner rather than later. Wouldn't you? Move those lovely legs of yours, darling. My belongings won't find themselves. shall have to scour the memory of cultist lips from it if I'm ever to drink from it again. If memory serves, this is the cult leader's squalid domain. Be careful, darling. We are close. I can practically feel the blood flowing in my veins. I'm tingling. Now place the items on the altar. That should be enough to break the spell. Hurry!
At last! You did it! Oh, it feels so good to be back in my body. Flesh and blood. A beating heart. It would truly have been a shame to keep all of this beauty locked away in a silly doll for eternity. I owe you a great debt. I wouldn't think too hard about it if I were you. This kind of magic is often more palatable when not dissected. The long and short of it is that it worked, and you've restored me to my true self. Yes, darling, thanks to you. My rather enviable body is restored, and so sorry excuse for cultists no longer have a hold of me. Please, take this. It's not every hero that stops to help a talking doll. You've more than earned a reward. I didn't realize how much I missed the cold. The wind biting my cheeks is like a kiss from an old lover. Or a new lover. It's invigorating. You have my eternal gratitude for what it's worth. First, I'm going to make the bastards who did this to me pay. Then, I think I'll take a long, hot bath, stuff myself on sweets and mead, and then perhaps find someone to warm my bed. Humiliating, reduced to a child's plaything. I never thought I'd sink so low. Oh, and dreadfully boring, too. All I could do was stare at the wall and think about how much I hated it. And there were so many itches I could not scratch.
How did your fieldwork progress? The coterie of organized scholars can own. Splendid! Aren't the state of these just fascinating? They've been stored for centuries, but they look as fresh as those you'd find in a bowl of Valenwood stew. Here's your payment. Well done.
What?
Over here, Initiate. Greetings. I have a message for you from Velast, Mistress of Incunabula. Indeed. She has a task for you. You'll want to speak with her as soon as you can. Velast awaits you at the Guild Hall in Volkelgard, along the southern coast of Auradon.
What do you want?
I'm accustomed to stairs, but I reached my threshold for gawkers a long time ago. Move along. I'm waiting for someone. He's what? Damn it. Queen Gerhild will be here at any moment. Look, Her Highness is expecting to talk to me and my contact. I need you to pretend to be that contact, or this will go very badly. We can exchange intimate details of our lives later. Right now, just know that the safety of all of Skyrim, maybe even all of Tamriel, depends on how this meeting goes. So follow my lead and be on your best behavior with Her Highness.
Dearest Titanborn, your reputation is known even here in the West. Is this one of your famed companions?
No, but I assure you my partner is one of the Skald King's best. Go introduce yourself, partner.
I am Gerhild, Queen of Skyrim. Allow me to welcome you on behalf of our kingdom, our city, and our hold. Who might you be? The letter that preceded your arrival said an attempt was made on the Skald King's life. It indicated that High King Svargrim would be next. My husband took that as an accusation and a threat. He will not meet with you, but I will hear you out. Have you anything that would persuade my husband? It will take some substantial evidence to convince High King Svargrim to heed the words of the hated Yoren, the Skald King. Reachman transgressions will not be enough for Svargrim to accept outside help. He's a prideful man, and the bad blood between him and Yoran runs deep. I will speak on your behalf, but you and Lyris will need to bring me proof he cannot ignore. Thank you for alerting me to this situation. I am eager to see what else you uncover. I will do what I can, but be as discreet as possible. If you run afoul of my husband, he won't hesitate to return you to Yoran, and not necessarily in one piece. You must convince my husband that a threat greater than Yoran exists. Further, this threat must directly imperil the High King. Find proof of this, and I will assist you how I can. Helping to keep our hold safe will also allay his concerns. It's enough for me to believe your intentions are sincere. Learn more about these suspicious activities you mentioned, then bring it to me. If this threat is as dangerous as Yoran claims, prove it, and I will make my husband listen to reason.
You handled that better than I expected. Now what in Mara's name happened to Brondald? Damn. Lucky thing he found you. Brondald was supposed to get the lay of the land before I got here. Without his information, my work for Yoran the Skald King could be over before it begins. What did he give you? Hand it over. Smugglers and Reachmen up to illicit business. Nothing unusual there, but Brondald thought it could be connected to the Coven. I'm short a good investigator, and you stepped into the role easily enough. Can I count on you to help me with this? Brondald mentioned some locals we should have a talk with. A snitch named Grega, who likes to gamble in back alleys, and an orc named Mog, who frequents the Lonely Troll Inn. Let's find them and see what they can tell us. We don't, but it's all we've got. Even if they aren't connected to the Ice Reach Coven, taking care of a few of Svargrim's problems might earn us some goodwill. Now, let's go check out the back alleys and the Lonely Troll Inn. Castle Dower is a monument to the Western spirit. Stony and cheerless. Maybe the new tower will liven up the place.
What?
I have questions.
Questions? Happy to oblige. Buy a few rounds.
Hey! Nobody intimidates my friends.
Princess Svana.
Who gave you the right to walk in here and bully my friend? Did my father send you? Because he doesn't like Mog. But I like Mog. Mog doesn't care that I'm a princess, and it doesn't matter to me that Mog's a scoundrel. If my father didn't send you, why are you threatening my friend? Smelly bastards. Cheap, too. Wouldn't buy us a drink. They hung their flyers and left without saying a word. Then, a different smelly bastard showed up to sign on workers. He was a charmer, though. His breeches fit well. And he was handsome. Not a Nord. Breton, maybe? I didn't really listen to what he was saying. A half-dozen workers left with him. Off to the Drudok Mountains or someplace. He hasn't been back since.
Let's talk outside, partner.
The guild has need of you, comrade. Hey, don't step on the dice. There a reason you're interrupting our game, Horkface? Don't know any Brond old. Don't know you. Either way, I got nothing to tell you. Get lost. I'm on a winning streak.
My friend asked nicely. Talk, or the next thing to roll will be your heads.
Kasala! She handles all the smuggling in Solitude. Her warehouse is on the docks.
That wasn't so hard. Come on, partner. We're done here. So we've got a mysterious Breton possibly working with Reachmen, recruiting workers for some unknown purpose. Plus there's a smuggler hiding unknown contraband in a warehouse down by the docks. I say we deal with the smuggler first. We know where to find her, and we more or less know what she's up to. And if the two are connected, maybe the smuggler can help us narrow our search for the Breton. Ready to visit Casella's warehouse?
What do you want?
If we do not end this war, it will end us.
Kyne's Aegis needs your help. Sea giants and vampires are everywhere.
That's Casella's warehouse. Only one sentry. Let's try not to cause a scene.
Private property. Get lost. Wait. A half-giant? Is that Lyris Titanborn? Blood and Blade. Everyone knows Lyris Titanborn. What a woman. She's even larger than I imagined. No wonder she fought Swordmaster Sai Sahan to a draw. Wait, is he here too? Until Casala returns, I'd be happy to keep fair Lyris company in her stead. Alas, Casala doesn't allow visitors when she isn't here to conduct business. but we can wait out here. Do you think Lyris would autograph my ancestral scabbard? It would mean so much to my son. When I have one. Do you know if Lyris is betrothed? Oh, thank you, thank you! You don't know how much this means to me.
I don't know what you said to him. Good job with the sentry. You got rid of him and I didn't have to bash him or anything. See if you can pick the lock while I keep watch. See what's in those marked crates. I'll watch the door.
Brought muscle this time, I see.
More than you. Care to try me?
I'll pass. I just want to know who's been meddling in my business. I had a feeling it wasn't just an opportunistic thief trying to steal my cargo. What are you after? A plot against the High King? Involving plundered antiquities from Hammerfell? Preposterous. I'm simply facilitating a transaction between treasure hunters and a rich collector. So, who am I paying the bribe to? You or the High King? Gimme that! Tribal crafts my arse. I told that son of a skeever I don't deal in arcane goods, especially ones from the Reach. Nothing but sorrow comes from such business. This isn't cursed, is it? No name, just instructions and gold. Shipments come in, I make sure no one looks too closely and wait for a pickup. Never see same face twice. Last time it was a smooth-talking Breton with Nord laborers in tow. You want more? I need assurances. They're taking the cargo to an abandoned lodge in the foothills north of Solitude. Occasionally used it myself when the city guard was being thorough. Want to catch them? Start there. If that's all, we're leaving. I'm not losing my head over this. The Breton was sly. Handsome even. Thought he could charm me into taking on additional shipments. Now that I know what's involved, the trouble isn't worth it. The Nords were local, hired hands from the Lonely Troll. I'm paid not to ask too many questions. This arrangement was a lucrative one. I trusted them, but it seems they took advantage of my natural greed. That won't happen again.
Brondald had good instincts. We're definitely onto something. Our mystery buyer is hiring locals to haul these urns and reach fetishes out of the city. But for what purpose? The Coven was also perfecting some kind of ritual in Icereach. Something to do with storms. If these fetishes are from Icereach, you may be onto something. Still, why involve the locals? Seems like an unnecessary risk. Good idea. Head there while I circle around from the other direction. Maybe I can catch them before they reach the lodge. Just be careful. I'd rather not lose another partner at this point in the investigation. Give your sentry my best, and tell him I owe him an autograph.
Oh, he's gonna get more than an autograph if I see him again.
A straggler. I have more than I need, so I'll just feast on you here. A straggler. I have more than I need, so I'll just feast on you.
Over here, partner. All I found were these Reachmen stalking the pass. Decided they'd rather die than talk, so I obliged. They don't look like they're from Ice Reach, but they are wearing the Coven's medallions. Anyway, did you find the lodge? Kilcreath? The temple to Meridia? Why would the Ice Reach Coven target a local Daedra cult? Storms again. I saw the Coven conjure a massive storm on Ice Reach. What did this storm do to the temple, and how do you know it was supernatural? Sounds like what they tried to do to the Skald King, but on a massive scale. I'll head back to Solitude and try again to warn High King Svargrim. You go to Kilcreath and see if the Coven left anything behind we can use as proof. I'll find you there.
Stop! A disaster has befallen Kilcreath Temple. Don't be alarmed. I mean you no harm. But there are Harrow fiends swarming around Kilcreath Temple who do. Head back to safety before they find you. I'm sorry, but you're too late. An unnatural storm struck the temple, and now the entire area is overrun by vampires and Harrow fiends. Harrow fiends are feral vampires, a byproduct of the unnatural Harrow storm. As for me, I am Fenorian of House Ravenwatch. I came here on the trail of remains stolen from a mass grave in Bankurai. They were shipped to Solitude in ancient urns. Yes, I've run into the Coven as well. The urns and the stolen remains play a part in a ritual to summon the storms. If you're willing, I could use your assistance. I need to finish my investigation of the site to see what else I can learn. I could use your help to examine the strange pikes erected around the temple. Harrow fiends and vampires roam the area, making it difficult to get close. Hence the need for your assistance. You see, I'm not that confident in my combat prowess. House Ravenwatch is one of the noble houses of Rivenspire. Our liege, Count Verandus, has dedicated us to the cause of peaceful coexistence between mortals and those of the vampiric persuasion. That often makes us defenders of Tamriel. True, but I've seen evidence of a vampiric connection. At the very least, the material they transported from Bankurai included the remains of ancient vampires. They were part of an army that was defeated in the First Era, the Grey Host. An army that consisted of vampires and werewolves, led by King Styriek and Verkarth. They were eventually defeated by the garrison at Bankurai in High Rock. It all happened a very long time ago, but such remains radiate with arcane power. Is it that obvious? But have no fear. As a member of House Ravenwatch, I have pledged to never take blood from an unwilling subject. I assure you, I'm only here to help. I am much more than just a vampire. In addition to being an agent of House Ravenwatch, I am a master alchemist and an expert in arcane studies. I do try to avoid direct violence, though, to make sure I never give in to temptation. An alchemical residue. That should prove useful. It's depleted. Just ordinary sticks and rope now. Interesting. Can you feel the lingering energy? That's Daedric, These depleted witch pikes expended a lot of power to summon the Hero Storm. Now they're just ordinary sticks, but even in this state, they tell us much about the ritual that flowed through them. I'm sure now that the pikes play a significant role as focal points for the storm ritual. The prepared pikes are depleted as the ritual runs its course, but I sensed lingering energy, including a Daedric taint. And we found an intriguing residue. It's the remains of an alchemical poultice that was spread over the pikes. Smells like rotting fungus, doesn't it? With a little study, I should be able to identify each ingredient in its makeup. Then I can begin to understand the ritual. One other thing I want to check first. I noticed the pilgrims leading a cart away from the temple right before the storm hit. Coven members could have tried to slip away among the innocents. The cart should be along the road south of the temple. Strange. They're alive, but unresponsive. Check the crates and see if they contain the smuggled items. Did you find anything of interest in the crate? I can't believe anyone knowingly involved would have let themselves be exposed to the storm. Perhaps the pilgrims were tricked into transporting the crate. Or maybe it was slipped into their cart. Yes, of course. Though I fear what we may find there. The temple was clearly at the center of the storm. Regardless, there's still a lot we don't know about the effects of this ritual. Observing the target area could offer new insights. These are temple priests and pilgrims. It seems the storm killed them. I'll need to perform more tests. But from what we've seen, I believe the storm affects mortals in 3 distinct ways. It kills them, transforms them into harrow fiends, or leaves them mindless. I suppose I'd say it harrowed those poor pilgrims. I want to learn more about the ritual, and how it produces the harrow storms. And I need to confirm my theories about the storm's effects. I'll start by examining the residue from the witch pike to identify the components used to power the ritual. My alchemical equipment. It's extremely fragile, so I left it in my pack. I hid it among a copse of trees once I saw all the vampires and harrow fiends. Once I retrieve it, I can find a place to begin my analysis.
That's close enough, Leech.
Wait, wait! I'm not part of the coven!
Looks like I made it back just in time. This place is crawling with vampires, and that one was about to make a meal out of you. House Ravenwatch. I've heard of them, but he's a long way from Rivenspire. Well, if you're willing to trust a vampire, I suppose I can too. I spotted a coven witch. If we hurry, we might be able to catch her. On the cliff overlooking the temple. Calls herself Sister Embrit. I was going to rush her, but I wanted to make sure you hadn't run afoul of any of these monsters first. No offense, Fen. Come on. If we're lucky, the witch is still up there.
Perhaps I could question the witch before you introduce her to your impressive axe blade?
The ritual needs refinement.
Kill her before she can summon another storm.
Willing sacrifices. How nice.
Sacrifice? I'd rather give you my axe, witch.
Could take her prisoner. No matter. I found something. This way?
Go with your vampire friend. I'm gonna look around here.
Do you see? These are the same as the urns smuggled from Bankarai. They didn't just shatter, they exploded. I can sense traces of magicka clinging to the shards that matched the energy used in the storm ritual. These other fragments, though. All this rubble scattered around didn't just come from these urns. The texture and patterns are different. They appear to have used the funerary dust in the urns to summon the Harrow Storms. But I'm not sure what was inside the larger vessels. Look at the shape of the fragments. They come from a hollow receptacle of some sort. Something at least as tall as you. Perhaps larger. Just another piece of the puzzle. Maybe when I analyze the witchpike residue, an answer will suggest itself. Thank you, but no. I try to avoid large population centers. The temptation. You understand. I'll find someplace nearby, but out of the way where I can set up my equipment and work undisturbed. I'll send word when I have something to report. I met a clever woman who lives in the bog near Morthal. Old Mjolnir's a dying breed among the Nords, a practitioner of the old magic. The locals both admire and fear her. If anyone can help me untangle the Coven's ritual, it's her. Mjolin's experience with the old ways and reach magic make her ideally suited to assist me in this endeavor. She's the closest thing to an expert we're likely to find out here. At least one who doesn't want to feed our eyes to a harpy. The Raven Watch has had to curtail rogue vampire clans, and put down feral blood fiends on occasion, but I've never dealt with anything like this before. People turning into hero fiends, or becoming mindless harrowed. It's a nightmare. Yes, but more research is required to confirm anything. Still, from what we observed here, it appears the Harrowstorm produced 3 distinct results in those caught within it. It turned them into hero fiends, or harrowed, or it simply killed them.
So, what did your vampire friend discover? Reach witches summoning magical storms to create feral vampires? That's horrible, but to what purpose? Well, that's the next puzzle to solve. First, we need to get this information to the Queen. Here. This was for Brondolg, but it's yours now. Queen Gerhild needs to hear what we discovered at Kilcreath Temple. Hopefully that will be enough for her to get us an audience with High King Svargrim. The Queen seemed reasonable. She'll believe us. As for Svargrim, who can tell? I haven't met the man, but everything I've heard describes him as prideful, arrogant, and hard-headed. Even with the Queen's help, there's no guarantee. I'd like to knock down the palace door, grab him by the throat, and shake him until he listens. That would probably start a war, though, and Yoren specifically asked me to avoid that. For now, let's bring our evidence to Queen Gerhild. If there's anything else we need to discuss, let's get it out of the way now, before we return to Solitude. Hey, you and Fëanorian came to that conclusion, not me. Still, it makes as much sense as anything. As to why, I have no idea. This connection to vampires, though, that's troubling. We should keep Fen away until we get into Svargrim's good graces. A clever woman? Out here? Nords are extremely distrustful of magic, especially Nords from western Skyrim. I'm surprised the people of Morthal tolerate her presence. If anyone can help Fen figure out the Coven's ritual, though, it would be her. Our priority remains getting an audience with High King Svargrim. We need to convince him that the Icereach Coven is a threat to his kingdom, and get him to help us stop them. Let's return to Solitude and present our findings to the Queen. Hound requests your help.
What is it?
Help! Assassins in the palace! Help!
That's one of the Queen's attendants. Let's get inside.
Be strong, Svanna.
Mother! No! No!
Svanna, your father, the kingdom. Watch out.
Mother! No! You can't die! Mother!
Sire, the assassins might return. You must get to somewhere safe.
Have Yoren's lackeys come to gloat?
We came here to warn you, Your Highness.
And yet my wife lies dead.
If you had listened to us...
Like she did. If I determine Yoren had a hand in this, there will be war! Someone take care of my wife!
Father, please.
Gods, what a disaster. The Queen's been assassinated and Svargrim still refuses to listen to reason. We need to find a way to set things right. Good question. The guards should have been able to handle a run-of-the-mill assassin. This could be connected to the Icereach Coven. In fact, I'd wager my axe that it is. Look around. See if you can find any indication of how the assassin got in and out of the palace so easily. Maybe even turn up something that ties the murderer to the Coven. I'll make sure the princess is all right. Svanna's taking this pretty hard. I suppose most daughters feel close to their mothers. Not that I'd know, I never knew my mother. Sorry, don't mind me. Did you find anything that might lead us to the assassin? We've seen these medallions before. On the Reachman near Kilcreath. And I saw them on the witches in Icereach. The assassin definitely seems to be in league with the Coven. But can we get Svargrim to believe that and accept the danger he's in? Svargrim has every right to be angry. He watched his wife die right before his eyes. But he's the High King. He doesn't have the right to be stupid. Time to make Svargrim confront some hard truths. Come on, the Sword Thane led the king upstairs. We need to see the High King.
I should think not. The High King is in mourning. He's not to be disturbed.
The Queen's wasn't the only life lost today. Now get out of our way.
Go right in.
Your Highness, please. Your kingdom is in grave danger.
My queen's blood hasn't yet cooled, and already Yoren's lackeys hound me.
We have proof that the Coven threatening your kingdom is responsible for the Queen's death. Show him, partner.
Does Yoren think me so weak that he believes his half-giant can twist my arm and fill my head with lies? I am not so easily duped, outsider. Reach witches. They pose no threat. We've beaten back those wild dogs time and time again, while our brothers to the east bow down to a poetry-writing milk drinker. I will not be lectured on such matters by the likes of you. Tales told around campfires to scare the children. Storms happen here all the time, and none of them spawn monsters. The last spy who spoke of such things, well, he no longer speaks of such things. I am the Wolf of Solitude. I know my enemies. You dishonor my wife's name by letting it pass through your treacherous lips. Away with you! And pray I don't find evidence that ties you to the Queen's murder. That would not go so well for you.
We'll leave you to your grief, Your Highness.
Is it true? Mother told me you were working for her before she...
I'm sorry, Svanna. I would have saved her if I could.
My mother. She told me she gave the mighty Lyris Titanborn an important task. Tell me, what were you doing for my mother? Threat? What threat? And do you think this is why someone came into the palace and killed her? And did you tell my father all this? Is he rallying the soldiers? Alerting the other holds? My father sees Yoren's plots everywhere, even in his spicy venison stew. Well, I won't let my mother's death be for nothing. She trusted you, and so will I. My father be damned. Please, find whoever did this and stop them. I saw the assassin. He moved fast. Unbelievably fast. He leaped through the window after stabbing my mother. By that time, the guards had gathered, so I guess he decided to flee. Try to follow his trail. Someone outside must have seen something. He was fast, that's for certain. Here and gone before the guards could even draw their swords. Other than that, I didn't get a good look. The inside of his hood was nothing but shadows. My father? Listen to me? When horkers fly, maybe. But probably not even then. He gave up on me a long time ago. I'm sorry. I'm no use to you. No use to anyone. I'm not my mother. Never will be. But I swear I'll do whatever I can to help you. You have my word on that. No. My mother... The last time we spoke, I hurled a mug at her. But I came when she summoned me. Just in time to see her murdered. I need to pull myself together. She asked me to watch over my father. The kingdom. I can't let her down.
Come on, Princess. Let's get you somewhere safe.
Don't call me princess.
Well?
My wife. She is like ice. So cold. So pale. All the warmth sucked out of her. There was a commotion at the palace. Everyone was headed that way. Except one man. No, not a man. He wore an eye patch. But his face was bestial. He dragged her along like a bone between a dog's teeth. Then he tossed her aside, pale as snow. He was fast, so fast. ran to the Hall of the Dead. He never even looked back at what he had done.
Will you pray with me for these poor souls? Cut down and bound for the Hall of the Dead much too soon. It was a monster, a vampire. I have seen such creatures before, but this one wore an eye patch. It moved like a shadow and took sustenance from these poor souls. I called upon Arcay's grace, and the vampire fled before his sacred presence. Toward the main gate, I pray the guard finished off the depraved creature before it took another innocent life.
What do you want?
You again? Didn't I warn you about putting your nose where it doesn't belong? A vampire? I don't know what you're talking about. But whoever it was tore out Senolia's throat and fled through the gate before I could stop him. What do you know about all this? And why is it any of your business? The Queen's dead? What about the High King? He'll have my head for letting the assassin slip away. Yeah. It's not like I opened the gate and let him slink off. The real problem's at the palace. No more questions. I've got to secure the gate and take care of poor Senolia.
This is Svargrim's fault. He should have heeded us from the start. Damn Svargrim and his distrust of Yoren. How many more of his people have to die before he accepts the truth and lets us help him? Forget that for now. Tell me about the assassin. Did anyone get a good look at the murderer? That would explain the assassin's swiftness and ability to escape so easily. We knew the Ice Reach Coven had vampires on their side, but using them so blatantly. Anything else to report? Well then, time to fight fire with fire. They've got evil vampires, and we've got a friendly one. Let's find out exactly what your friend Fen knows about vampire clans in the area. Where did you tell me Fen was going again? Right, to research the ritual. Go find them and see what you can learn. I'll stay with Savannah. Bring her up to speed on everything we've uncovered. We're going to need her to get the High King to trust us. And I'm calling him Fen. It's simpler.
I have a long...
Welcome to the middle of nowhere, my friend. You must be freezing. Warm yourself by the fire, and tell me how your audience with the High King went. A bold move, even for them. Old Mjolnir and I have been comparing notes, and we've made some progress studying the Harrowstorm ritual. What happened to your large friend with the axe, by the way? We knew that vampires were working with the Coven. And old Mjolnir and I can say with certainty that the feral Harrow Fiends are byproducts of Harrowstorms. You think the assassin was one of the vampires in league with the Coven? An eye patch? That's uncommon. And this insignia, I've seen it before. It's the same as the symbol that decorates the urns smuggled out of Bankurai. If it belongs to a vampire bloodline, I'm not familiar with it. I suggest you ask Mjolnir.
I had thought after our dealings with bone wolves and curses, you would find other ways to amuse yourself for a time. Yet here you are again, right in the midst of more problems. What can old Mjolnir do for you this time? A grim talisman. It bears an enchantment of some kind, though the symbol upon it holds no significance that I'm aware of. I can help find the owner of this medallion, but I need some specific items to cast such a divination. Bring me the bones of a wolf and a death bell plant pulled up by its roots. I need the plant alive. The wolf, not so much. With those reagents, I can conjure a divination that will lead you directly to the last person to wear this medallion. Death bell grows throughout the bog. You should have no trouble acquiring it. Wolves are plentiful in the wilderness around Morthal as well, but be cautious. Many seem afflicted by a strange curse. I would hate for you to run afoul of it. An icy rime clings to the wolves, sapping the heat and life from their bodies until only a frigid, shambling corpse remains. You are safe from them here, but be mindful out in the wild.